Metal scholars. Wow. Even in Arcadia. Is it a funeral dirge? Come now, swing wide those gates. This sets the scene for even in Arcadia. We enter a place that feels sacred and doomed, right? This is a funeral wake, a lament, a whispered prayer in the dark. But who's dying? The instrumentation gives us a vocal, piano, cello, which is the perfect instrument for us to have that grief. When Vessel sings, "I've paid my penance kindly," well in time for Judgment Day, I think he adopts this posture of salvation, pleading at heaven's gates. There's a Judeo-Christian logic here. I've suffered, let me in, but the gates don't swing open. He says, somehow I knew my fate. In the Sleep Token universe, Vessel is portrayed as this oracle, right? He's got a mask with 6 eyes. He's able to see past, present, and future. But with that power comes this pain of having to endure. He gives us a conclusion. It turns out that the gods that we thought were dying were just sharpening their blades. The gods aren't merciful. If death is a god, then death is still here. It's always here. And what we thought was the decline of suffering, maybe we were pleading to go back to Eden, that was just a pause before things got even worse. The abyss deepens. The personification of death. Have you been waiting long for me? Guys, this is death speaking. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's this amazing theater play by Samuel Beckett. It's called Waiting for Godot, and it's about these two characters, and they are basically waiting for this guy or for this person, this entity, the whole play, but it never comes. I think we can establish a parallel here with Vessel, because this song we're talking about looking for salvation, but salvation never shows up. Death shows up. It's the only thing that keeps its promise. And how about that part about the scriptures and the blood? What was missing from those scriptures will be written in my blood. Well, I see this as a nod to that novel back there, Teeth of God. I mean, it's the role of the director, the character, he represents rationality, and maybe he's looking for answers. He's already looked for answers with religion and mythology, but he believes that maybe his DNA, his blood, has the answers. Blood contains the truths, the story about your life. But it's an unfortunate truth, the fact that we are going to die before we know. It's a reflection that the secrets of the purpose of why we're here are unknowable. So all these emotions, what is love? What is life? All these things, there's this frustration. This song is talking about, collapsing in a way, digging down into the mud, he says. What is that? That's he is reflecting. Why all this talk about angels and wings, right? When there is nothing left above. Wow, this is profound, like the existential grief here. He looks down into the dirt, the grave, and that's kind of like the truth. So it's very similar to the interludes of the last tour, right? Where you have perspectives about death or about beliefs, the truth. Truth is a tool. Transcendence and everything, where everything we know and love will go down in the mud. So this is one part of the song. As you see, it fluctuates. It has parts of like theism, and it has parts of agnosticism, and it has parts of atheism. So it's bringing you the whole thing. The angel of death returns and, belts out, "Have you been waiting long for me?" This time in a raspy, overdriven vocals, right? To add that sense of like mystery. It's clean, but there's distortion. It's the beauty of singing with clarity, but at the same time breaking down. Death sings. And then, in my opinion, post-death, you have the cello theme, right? It's to evoke this mourning, the wake, It's the sound after the body is gone, post love, post death, post belief. How about some final thoughts here? I mean, we're talking about a funeral. It's about what's left after the possibility that paradise has ended. It invites us to grieve, but not only that, but to believe, to recognize that in a world with no certainty, the most radical act for us is to live fully, not out of joy, but maybe out of defiance. Because even in Arcadia, death will walk beside you and I. And that's okay. Because if we know that, we can walk with a little more poise and courage. And that does it for me, Metal Scholars. What do you think about this song? Please share your comments down below. And as always, music is what music does. I'm signing out. Bye now.